In Chapter 30 of my FE7 Meh Units Only Ironman, we get a slight reprieve from the large-scale maps to have Hector acquire the legendary Thunder Axe, Armads, from its sealed resting place. But we cannot be too complacent, as only Hector and one other unit can join in this map. I will also be honest in telling you all that my second furthest attempt died here due to a funny little interaction that I will explain a bit later. This map features a mixture of mages, fighters, mercenaries, and thieves that serve as a catch-up chapter for Hector, as he is just now getting his promotion with only 3 chapters remaining after this one. This cave also has poisonous gas geysers in the wall that will inflict a small amount of damage and poison the target if they end their turn in front of it. Usually the safest way to deal with this would be to just bring a healer like Sarah, Nino, or Canas to make sure Hector stays alive. But there are quite a few lootable treasure chests and stealable items, including a goddess icon and a speedwing. In my last attempt, I had decided to bring Matthew to steal these treasures, as Hector or one of my other units could really use the speedwing. And if I'm being completely honest, there was no reason for me to risk this, as my Hector actually had respectable speed in that run. But in this run, my Hector was sitting 2 below average on speed, which meant I had to give him one of the speedwings from the prior chapters, and he could really use the second one here to compete with late game units. So I guess second time is the charm. We're running it back. So to start off, we have Hector use a sword reaver to kill off the nearby thief before swapping weapons around with Matthew to have weapon triangle advantage against the nearby armor knights. Most of the units on the maps have either reaver weapons or higher might traditional weaponry. But all we have to do is space properly and dance around a bit to give us the breathing room we need to take easier fights. We are limited heavily in our healing, but I was able to fit a few elixirs in our 10 inventory slots. The only way we lose is having a thief steal all our elixirs and then it dying before I can get any of the healing back. Funnily enough, this was how attempt 5 ended. I rushed to the southern treasure chest for what was essentially pure water in a box, and had all of my healing items stolen by the thief, while I was dealing with the multiple units surrounding me in the center. That thief proceeded to get stuck in a steel loop with Matthew on one of the poison geysers. On the last turn I could stop him from dying, I moved away to encourage the thief to use the chest key he had on the nearby chest. It was then I learned a neat little quirk about thief AI. If the thief has a full inventory with a one-use chest key being part of it, and my units have no items to steal, the thief will think he has no more room for treasure and act like a normal attacking unit, prioritizing weapon triangle, resulting in the thief killing itself on Hector and not dropping any items because its inventory had been cycled too much by the steel loop. It was very disheartening to say the least. That being said, we decide to completely ignore the boxes and head north instead, as the enemies have what's called 2-move AI, which essentially boils down to if you are within 2 movements of the unit in question, it will become aggressive and head towards you. This range also accounts for the attack range on one of those movements. For example, a mage has 5 movement and a 2 range attack, so if my units move to within 12 squares of the mage, it will move towards us. Only a few maps have this AI, with Cog of Destiny and this map being the main standouts. So with that in mind, we carefully move up and pull only a few units at a time, and safely steal both the Speedwing and the Goddess icon, which we immediately give to Hector. Hector also kills a mercenary for a steel blade, and we continue on towards the boss Kain, who is a hero guarding the axe using a tomahawk, which is the axe equivalent of a spear in this case. Even with weapon triangle, Hector has a rough go of back and forth fights, but because we successfully kept elixirs on our units, we can slowly but surely take him down and finish the chapter.